and the inkjet weapon, and we'll see set to go dapples. But as far as the other team goes, no idea. So okay, Explasher to splatter shots actually. E-Leader. That's all I had to say to raise some eyebrows. E-Leader and Sorella.
I do like E-Leader on this map actually. It's like, I don't know if it's as good as Hydra, but E-Leader just puts up so much pressure, and like the range just kind of makes it really difficult to move around. It's very, very similar to how you'd want to deal with a Hydra. Like you don't really want to do much until the E-Leader's dead. That being said, the E-Leader's the only one alive now, so let's see if they can find the jumps coming in.
The vanilla E-Leader, so it's not the bubble one, and it's also not the Inkstorm umbrella. So kind of a weird team comp coming out of, what is their name? Vesper, help me.
Snap.
Oh, Snap.
Snap! Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, Snap. Yeah, a little bit of weird team comp coming out of Snap, but I mean, like, the Bomb Rush is going to help versus Bubbles. The Inkstorm is definitely really good at taking zone on this map, so we'll see how it works out. The Inkstorm is going off. Pixel recalling from his Inkjet, not taken out, has team support, and this is a 2v2 situation with blue Bubbles in zone.
Really good time to use the bubbles. Like they saw that somebody had an opportunity to kind of push on the zone, so they just said, you know what, take the bubbles in the face, and then you're not going to get the zone. Nice snipe on the Pixel, and the Storm's going to be coming out. The Umbrella's also there to help them out. No Bomb Rush at the ready, but getting pretty close. The Bomb Rush is ready. They're going to be able to paint the zone here. Might be able to capture it with the Bomb Rush. Wow, some really good shots
will be able to make
from Wally there.
Just paint the zone.
Just paint, forehead. That's all 4 players down. So that's going to be an opportunity.
All right, so Keen looks like he's going to go over here to our right side of the screen, get some meter. We're going to have someone else from Komodo go over to the left. It's going to be Dia building some meter over to the left. So this is going to be a pushback happening soon. The Bubble's at the ready. We have the Armor at the ready. The 2 frontliners are almost at their Inkjet. So this should be the starting of a push right about now. Armor goes down. Inkjet pops. Bubbles go up. This is going to be a huge push into the zone. The splashdown goes down. Yeah, that's going to be capped thanks to that splashdown there from Setu, and this is going to be another pick afterwards, and this is control for Komodo.
So they were able to get 2 players down. The E-Leader is going to be able to take some shots here, but probably not going to be able to find much as long as Komodo's just positioning right. And the Splasher just puts up so much pain and so much pressure on this map that it's really difficult to push in, especially with the Hydra on top of it. It's kind of just like this wall that you can't really knock down. You just need to figure out a way around it for the most part.
Bomb Rush going on. Will this be control for Snap? It doesn't quite look like it. Not able to make that zone green, and now that Komodo has all these bombs up, all these bubbles up, all these kills, it's going to be very hard. But look, the blaster almost gets the paint, but no, Komodo's definitely going to respond to that. They're going to push up. Pixel actually gets taken out, but then the Inkjet gets taken out. No one really to do anything about this. The last hope of painting the zone gets taken out, and that's going to be the win for Komodo in game 1. Pretty convincing first game.
Yeah, some really good, just like the teamwork, and kind of, it's like I said earlier, like Humpback Pump Track is all about just like your team coordination and how well you can combo your specials. And there was just some really good special usage from Komodo, just overall, like just completely on the board. Like the bubbles going on the zone to kind of halt that zone retake. They did eventually get it with the Bomb Rush, just kind of like there's not really much you can do when there's a storm and the Bomb Rush.
I feel like the whole Storm Bomb Rush thing only happened once, but I saw a lot of Storms and some Bomb Rushes not really that well coordinated from Snap. You know, did you kind of see that as well? Where like the one time when they used the Storm and Bomb Rush on the zone at the same time, they ended up getting the cap, but the other times they were kind of little staggered specials and it didn't work out. Whereas like that one situation we saw from Komodo where like they died, they got all 4 specials and they just pushed back the zone as a group and it just worked. Right. You know, like that's kind of night and day.
Yeah, and Komodo is really good at that on zones because I've grilled them to be good at that. So like on zones, they're really good for that. But on other modes, like especially TC, especially Rainmaker, they aren't. The games are a lot different. The Komodo definitely plays zones a lot differently than they play the other modes. And in most tournaments recently, that's definitely been our downfall. It's the fact that we do everything correctly on zones, but the other modes not so much. Sometimes we're able to win games for the most part just because we have like a few clutch plays there or things just happen to work out. But in general, the special coordination just has not been completely there on Tower Control, on Rainmaker, on Clan Blitz.
Okay.
And I think if Snap does want to get an opening here, it's going to have to be on the 2 non-zones modes, and they're going to clean up the zone.
Well, this Tower Control and Snapper is definitely a mode that demands consistency. So if they are going to do it, let's say it's on this Tower Control game, they are going to have to do it right. This isn't a situation where they can just kind of like waltz away with a free win. Tower on Snapper is a hard mode to beat a better team than you. So
Yes.
they need to actually be the better team to do this.
And okay, so Komodo did bring the Stingray to the board, but there's also just the vanilla Charger for Snap right now, and that's kind of a way better Stingray bot for tower control. Like the machine's good enough, but it's going to be a lot more difficult to push into a Charger than it is a machine. 2 players actually dropping for Komodo already. Just going to have 2 people left. Pixel kind of trying to stay alive on that back left side there, but this is going to be an early push for Snap.
Yeah, 4v4 situation right now. Snap's starting to push, but like we saw before, not necessarily a lead, and well, Tower gets taken out, but a bunch of members of Komodo go down while trying to defend right now. Keen, the last person up, he knows he's close to Stingray. He's going to jump out. He's going to get the Stingray ready as the tower starts to move towards this notorious second checkpoint. As Keen's dead. I thought for a second that was actually Keen get taken on the base, but that Stingray is going to go off. Setu's going to go over here and push tower, and they're going to stop the tower from getting past the second checkpoint.
Where
Not
did
the
everybody
biggest
go?
surprise. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, why was there like nobody? Like, why was Setu just able to walk up to the tower completely for free and just push it back? I don't know.
I think that what happened was members of Snap tried to push up into the base of Komodo to stop that Stingray from going off, and they were completely denied by the respawning frontliner. So when that Stingray went off and everything, there was basically nobody there to stop the tower, and I think they just straight up retreated. Instead of just getting killed on tower to actually have nothing happen, they kind of just stayed alive.
Well, they're still doing a really good job keeping Komodo at bay here. It looks like Pixel was able to get 1 pick from the Inkjet, but he might be falling here before he jumps back. He does, and that's going to be another attempt at a push here for Snap.
Ooh, nice from Dia. Yeah, that's classic Hydra getting a double kill on you after you think that you did something good. And this is going to be the first time Komodo's really had dominance in numbers. That is a slightly delayed, but a wipe nonetheless, as they have the longest range member riding on tower. They have frontliners moving forward. They have a special ready.
Armor's going to go up too, and they have the Jet at the ready too from the Imperials on set too.
If they can get a pick or 2, this is going to be a good push.
Two people in mid though. They do have Dia helping. The Stingray is going to come out. The Jet's going to come up. The push is still looking good, but they might not be able to get that much out of this. They were able to get past the checkpoint, so that's good at least for Komodo. And are they going to be able to keep it going though? The storm's coming up to the tower. It looks like they're kind of struggling to stay alive right now, so that's probably going to be into that push.
Pixel does get a pick in mid though. Keen does not die. There are a bunch of members on Komodo's side of the map, but Pixel does get that double. Keen still barely staying alive. Pixel gets the revenge kill when he finally does die. We see Setu moving over to the left side of the map as well, so this is some objective play going on right now as Komodo starts to push forward, but no! Sniper is going to take Pixel out of the air as Setu tries to ride tower, and it looks like Komodo is actually going to get stopped short of what would have been a lead, a pretty good lead as well.
3 points too, yeah.
Yeah, and now it is going to be Snap that is pushing on Snapper. Why didn't we think of that earlier? Of course Snap is going to win on Snapper. Why wouldn't they?
the map is like so dirty right now. Like neither team is like able to clean up the map control. It looks like they're kind of focusing more on making sure that they get those kills than they are like kind of keeping a map control. And that's gonna actually let Setu push in from the side there, find 1 kill. The armor's gonna come up. He's probably gonna fall to the blaster here. Not able to get the kill, but Keen is gonna be able to clean that one up. And that's actually a good opportunity for Komodo to start pushing.
Yeah, this Inkstorm's going to put a slight delay on this push from Komodo, but not anything too big, unless Pixel gets taken up by that. So now we are in a situation where Komodo can't push up too far. Dia getting pushed from a blaster from one side, Shooter from the other. Keen gets taken out as well. Setu trying to get a revenge kill out of it, gets 1, gets taken out. Good situation for Snap, as the last member of Komodo alive really can't do much. You're going to have to fall back to the base. Snap in a winning position right now. I mean, there's a minute left. They have not the biggest lead ever, but they are pushing the tower, so if they can extend their lead, push back the checkpoint, past this checkpoint just a little bit more, they can give Komodo barely any time to try to have a comeback happen after this. We'll see if they're able to defend, as lots of death happens, and Komodo just immediately gets 3 kills and takes the tower. Will they get this 4th member? They do. Komodo could win this in a kind of pseudo overtime situation.
3 specials ready too. So Komodo's like, I mean, if there's any time to take the lead, it's now. 30 seconds left to get 3 specials ready. They do drop the Imperies though, so that's 1 jet not going to be coming out. The armor's going to come up from Dia. Pressure going to be going to the tower. They're going to drop another one. A really good direct from Free, whoever that is.
Keen's over there like, where do you guys go? Let's go Stingray help out that. Oh, he's dead.
Whoa, was that a low battery warning?
Carter? do you need batteries?
The camera just stops. We're in like the middle of a match. The camera just dies.
We can fax the batteries to you if you need them. Just let us know. And that is going to be a lot of dead Komodo members. And man, that happened a little bit too fast to mention, but honestly, out of Snap, that tower defense stopping that potential overtime push from Komodo was really nice because they pincered the tower. The way that you stop tower in Splatoon is you pincer it from two different sides.
Especially when there's a Hydra on it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, right? Like, the Hydra can't shoot, like, 180 degrees around. That would be... That would just be a little bit... That's what we call an aimbot. Yeah, that's what we call an aimbot. I was thinking of, like, that tweet that someone made the other day where they made it look like an aimbot when they really just had a... They just had a controller that would just put a designated, like, input to change the camera. So he was just basically pressing a bunch of buttons on his keyboard that made it look like he was snapping to all the targets in the target practice, and everybody thought it was an aimbot and started cursing at him in Japanese, and he was like, just kidding, it's this. Did you not see that? I thought it was pretty cool.
I think I did actually see that, yeah. I mean, that was game 2 going in favor of Snap there with some just really good just like objective play and making sure that Komodo never really got some momentum going. It kind of felt like it wasn't really like too one-sided in favor of Snap because it was still a pretty close game.
Yeah.
It seemed like neither team was going to get the footing.
That is how this map appears, though. And if you really look at it, like, Komodo had good defense, but they really couldn't get the offense going. And they really couldn't get the offense going in a way that stopped Snap from just converging on the tower from both directions. Like, I know that we pointed out that pincer at the end there, but if you think about earlier in the match, like, remember that one time where, like, a bunch of picks happened, and then, like, Setu was trying to get a revenge kill and dying. Like, that was a familiar situation in that game, and that's because Komodo got attacked from both sides when they tried to push the tower. You know, you gotta... I mean, every situation's kind of different when it comes to, you know, pushing the tower when the enemy's already there. Kind of have to slay a little bit first, in my opinion, but also you do have to kind of commit towards just jumping these guys, turning around and jumping the other guys to if you really have to push. And
I think another mistake that Komodo made on that last match when they could have gotten the push going is that they always had one of the frontliners like on the front of the tower, like pushing up to the main towards the opponent's base, when you kind of need to push your momentum on the left side with the tower path. Like, especially when there's a Hydra sitting on tower, you don't really need to have someone in front of them.
Right.
That being said, we're moving into game 3 now. This is going to be Megamar's Splat Zones. One player dropping already. 2 players actually dropping already for Snap, so Komodo looking pretty good at the start. We have Setu here pushing up onto the Charger. They are going to make the jump out.
At least they're going to keep their meter right there, as the Charger is basically going to have Stingray. But a Blaster gets taken out off screen somehow. Sun over here pushing into the middle of the map. Stingray goes off, but where are the people to follow this up? Where is the Ink Storm? We see some blue starting to approach the middle of the map right now, but Keen and Setu are going to just jump this flanker over here to the side. Blaster gets a revenge kill, though, and it looks like Komodo actually has some members going down right now. So what looked like a kind of a sketchy takeback from Snap ends up being effective, as they are able to at least get a penalty right here. We see a lot of fighting over here on the right side of the map and a little bit back and forth, and no, they're going to take out Komodo members again.
That was a really good power play, because when they took that zone, I was like, this doesn't really look like the most secure retake. Like, they're probably just going to be like dropping here and then probably like losing the zone right away. But like, no, they had like the players moved up all in the right spot. They were able to find members of Komodo and just pick them off, and it kind of, I think they got more than they bargained for when they were like, okay, let's try and paint zone, and then it ends up being like a secure hold. So some good play coming out from Snap.
What was that kill from Pixel? It looks like he might get taken out with this blaster. No, good positioning to stay out of splash range of the blaster. Ends up getting the kill, surviving from the armor from Dia, and that is going to be zone control for Komodo. And they don't have the lead. They are going to have to pull the lead out of this, or at least this or another push soon, but it looks like Komodo is going to be able to push up. They're going to be able to have a much stronger control of the map than we saw out of Snap until Pixel goes down. Keen gets chased, tries to turn around, defend himself, doesn't work, and it looks like Snap's going to be able to take this.
Yeah, they're going to use that splash zone to grab the zone. My cam had a little bit of delay there. I don't know what happened to your guys' end, but I think I'm good now. We're back in the match.
All right, cool. Well, now we are in a situation where Snap is in position to kind of push up into Komodo's base. You know, how you kind of have to play this map, you really need to be oppressive with the way that you can keep the enemy locked and spawn. Trying to defend from mid really leaves the enemy open for specials, and they're just letting Komodo waste their specials right now and push the mid. No penalty. All of this time right now is going in the favor of Snap. But as I say that, Snap members go down, the remaining Komodo members are able to use their specials, able to take mid, and now it's Komodo's turn to be set up. And a lot of back and forth. We just see both of these teams basically doing the same thing. They get some picks in mid, they set up, the other team gets a good push back out, they take the zone, get rid of their penalty, get some points, and then back and forth. Is just that Komodo hasn't quite been on the winning side of these little exchanges when it comes to points, and Snap is still just going to barely hold the lead.
Keep going. I'm having technical issues.
All right,
this
cool.
Is all you.
We are having the technical, so I will now solo cast as Keen over here is going to push up, going to take zone with the slasher. Now we saw a couple situations in this game where Keen was kind of caught with his pants down, something that can kind of happen to slasher players, but now he seems to be in a pretty decent position. He has teammates nearby. He's helping out. He gets this revenge kill right now. Can he get a second? No, he's going to wisely just back up and not let his team start to wipe. Pixel is going to use Inkjet. The zone is going to be taken. Let's see if this hurts Komodo, kind of overcommitting to holding a zone that they couldn't keep. Oh, actually, sorry, that was Setu that Inkjet right there. No, he is going to survive, and Komodo's actually in pretty decent shape until that one person died to an Inkjet. Not the best for Komodo right now as they're forced to back up, and Snap is able to take control. So what should have been Komodo's opportunity to start shaving more points off of their score like we've seen earlier in this game does not happen, and Snap is going to be able to just kind of really get close to shaving away their penalty with less than a minute left in the game. Komodo has to do something big.
That's 45 seconds left, and that's a small penalty too. Komodo really needs to get back on this. They pop the Inkjet, is able to get at least one out, and they did have armor to be able to prevent against that snipe pick. So yeah, I mean, job well done to them to at least be in the right position to actually like take control of that again. Now Komodo.
Oh, this is looking good.
Yeah, this is looking. I mean, Dia's in a great place, but that Stingray is going to put him back a little bit. And that's going to give an opening window, which is really crucial for Snap here. Ooh, this is looking ugly in the middle. Yeah, Keen going to hop on and gets the splat, but it won't be enough. Turf goes back to Snap's control.
Yeah, I don't think the Komodo is going to be able to do this. Dia is a Hydra hiding behind a corner to the right with a charge, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Inkstorm going down. Lots of yellow trying. 1 second left in the second window. Oh.
All right, I'm back.
All right, cool. All right, Komodo lost.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I like that part.
It was actually pretty close. So, I mean, honestly, that was a lot of back and forth. It could have gone either way, but it's just Snap just had slightly longer stretches of control. They had that one big stretch of control kind of towards the beginning of the game, and Komodo really wasn't able to respond with an equally long hold. And, you know, starting from a deficit with kind of equal back and forth just resulted in whichever team started out in the lead's favor. And that's basically exactly what we saw in that win from Snap as, you know, what was supposed to be a Komodo game. You know, the Komodo's supposed to be winning the Splat Zones matches. Snap's actually going to take one. So now Komodo's going to have to win in their quote-unquote not their unfavored game mode here in this Rainmaker Sturgeon, which they lost last time, if you remember properly. So Komodo's on the back foot.
Wait,
and
what?
it's like we were talking about earlier. It's like we saw that Komodo was probably going to be able to win the zones games, but like they dropped that game. They dropped the zones game. So now they're kind of, it's like you said, they're going to be playing from the back foot here. It's like we could tell that they probably had the advantage on the zones and not on the other modes. I was going to say like objective versus Slayer, like this is Halo.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But I mean, like going on to Rainmaker now, it's like Komodo has to win 2 in a row now.
Yeah, they have to win 2 in a row. So in theory, they can have the zones game in the bag by just playing well, just doing their thing, do their thing well. They have to win this Rainmaker game. Now we don't have a lot of information about how Komodo is supposed to do in this Rainmaker game, because the last one was just like a knockout. So, you know, no information there. So, like, obviously they don't want to leave the Rainmaker unguarded like last time. After that, what do they need to do to win? That was a question.
Oh, that was So I think if Komodo like wants to win this game, what they need to do is not like feed. They need to make sure that they're paying attention to.
They need to not suck.
Yeah, no, I mean like
That was
like
essentially what he said. Yes.
when we look at the last game that they played here on stream, it was like, could you come up with any other reason why they lost other than they were just like playing like garbage?
I mean, I think that the biggest factor was that they just kind of left the Rainmaker on that trick jump to the point where it's like, oh, I hope Jared doesn't pick this up. Oh, I hope Jared doesn't use his left stick. You know, like.
Also, to be
So it's kind of.
Go ahead.
It's just kind of a lack of objective play, honestly. So
Nice.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I saw Dick.
Yeah, it's Komodo. They've been slaying okay, but oh no, this is bad news bears for Komodo. Until the Stingray shows up to stop this Rainmaker, even if this counter ray stops Komodo's Stingray, I think that Komodo's going to be a decent spot. That Rainmaker's not getting anywhere scary anytime soon. Komodo members are respawning. A lot of green here in the center of the map. Some reinforcements coming. Yeah, maybe. We're going to pretend it's a sprinkler kill.
And Dia here just kind of being a Hydra in the neutral game. He's gonna just like abuse the high ground here and just put a lot of bullets down.
Yeah, but the armor's gonna go
It's
down.
like really difficult to move around. They got the Brella here. It looks like they did drop the Squeezer on the side of Komodo, and the Brella's not really in position to be able to be pushing up with the team right now. So they're gonna drop 2 players, and it looks like there's gonna be a third one going down too, and that's gonna be what I want to say is a successful retake from Snap, although it's not zones, but you get me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a successful control of mid. Now we do see them trying to push forward here. Komodo is going to put an end to this, so a little bit scary. Stops at the 47-point mark, so this is definitely definitely an easy score to beat if Komodo gets a push. Once you get past like the 30, I think it's the 34 mark, is where you kind of have to actually get into the enemy base to be able to score any more points. That's when it starts to get scary because that's kind of that's surpassing a pretty difficult threshold. But as we say that, Komodo's push is completely stopped dead in their tracks. They don't have a Stingray. This is looking really scary as this Rainmaker pushes up. Keen gonna get the clutch stop though. Some other members nearby, but Komodo is respawned and they are able to stop this Rainmaker. So will they leave it alone again? That is the million-dollar question. I think it's a little bit safer to leave it alone as long as they know that no one is showing up. But there are definitely members of Snap that are trying to get up into the snipe area, up in the spools area, sorry. The Rainmaker does reset though, and Komodo is going to use that as an opportunity to start pushing up.
Armor up.
Dia pops armor, and yeah, this is going to be a pushback.
There was a pick at the start. They do drop the Brella, and it's actually going to be a trade from the backlines there. The Stingray is going to come out and try and put some more pressure up. Setu's going to be alone on the left side. He finds 1 kill, and the other one's going to back up. So it's going to be... Oh, Setu actually dropped too. I'm not sure what to.
Wow.
Oh, no, he didn't. Now he dropped.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the way that having a Stingray on a non-backline weapon works with the Hydra that's aggressive like that, because it's like, you kind of expect like the Stingray to be something that the backline weapon uses, so that them using Stingray doesn't like change the flow. With that aggressive Hydra, man, like you kind of just don't have a backline when the Hydra gets really aggressive when he knows that the Stingray's going off. The only problem is that Komodo got picked too many times, and again they get picked when they could be doing something. But yeah, no, I mean it's good. They just have to not die enough for it to work.
Yeah, that's actually something that we've been talking about a lot recently, is that like in the meta right now, like if you wanted to play like an absolute meta comp, you would want a charger in your team, and that's the backline Stinger, right? But Komodo doesn't have a charger player, and we have Dia, so it's like, why would we not have Dia on Hydra?
Yeah.
And the thing that the situation that presents to the comp is that we don't have that backline Stingray anymore. We need to fit it in somewhere else. Wow, that was a double direct.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, no,
There's a triple. Oh, baby. A minute left.
Give him the quad.
Pixel is squeezing somewhere, and this is looking not very fun for Komodo. Less than a minute left in the game. Enemy pushing right now. Komodo Stingray being used up. Stingray player gets taken out. Dia gets taken out. Only 1 member left alive, who is Setu, who did get the pick. I don't know if Setu's going to be able to survive much longer, though, and the Rainmaker is in position to move forward. What's going to happen? Pixel's going to be able to get into position to do something about this.
Oh, no.
But no, Sun's going to do that.
Oh, no.
This is bad.
This
is real bad.
That's fair. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it.
Guys, I'm a free agent now.
This is bad.
I'm sorry if I cursed it by saying all Komodo has to do is not leave the Rainmaker alone, and they'll win. They leave the Rainmaker alone. I mean, they were kind of on the back foot for most of this game, so there's no real guarantee that they would have gotten the game-winning push if that had not happened. But now it's overtime. A Stingray is definitely going to happen. This is hard. Wait, the stinger gets taken out. The stinger gets taken out.
Oh, it died though. You're right. But damn, like getting down to 2 points to win in overtime on Sturgeon.
Chill. This is literally not going to happen. Like this is.
Yeah, this is actually not going to happen yet. The Stingray has time to do that, and that is going to be yeah. So.
Can I just say that the Komodo Classic recently has been making it through the Swiss stage to bracket and then losing first match? That's like every single tournament recently. That's how it plays out for Komodo. It's like, make it through Swiss, you're in bracket, drop first set.
Start running too fast, slip and fall off.
Yeah.
Just bust your ass. Like, ow! Vesper, don't be mad.
Cool, I guess that's it.
And we are going to be... Yeah, so that was... From what I understand, there was a lot of 3-0s were happening right now. So it seems that we were able to kind of... to luck out and get in on a good match, even though that there still was a 3-1. That was a pretty close 3-1. Komodo almost won a couple of those games, so I think that we did kind of make the right choice of